Hey friends, so today I wanted to tell you about Microsoft To Do. It is a phenomenal list management app. It tracks all kinds of lists from checklists, shopping lists, primarily to-do lists, but it also integrates really well with Microsoft 365 so that if you're using Planner for project work and anything is assigned to you, it automatically shows up. Also integrates beautifully with Microsoft Outlook. So if you flag an email in Outlook, it'll automatically show up in To Do as well. So I use To Do sort of like my central command station for tracking all tasks that I need to track, action items that I need to follow up on, agenda items I need to talk to people about, or waiting lists of people I'm waiting on or items I'm waiting for. It's just a phenomenal way to track lists and track action items. I'm going to give you some quick demonstrations of some of the features, sort of how I use it, examples of how I use it each day. And then there'll be other videos in this playlist that'll give you examples of specific capability. So Wunderlist used to be what this was called. It was the top to-do tracking list in the App Store. And Microsoft bought it and integrated it in. And it's just really cool. I highly recommend you check it out. If it doesn't work for you, that's great, but I think you're going to love it because I certainly do, and I basically live in To Do. Without any further ado, let's get into some examples of how I use it. So let's say I'm driving to work and I want to remember to call Frank tomorrow afternoon. Call Frank tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. about the Wagner account.
Okay, I added it.
Now with the integration with the iPhone, that action item's automatically going to show up in my to-do list in my .reminders list, which is a list I set up for this sort of stuff. So let's go take a look at the .reminders list. And right here you can see it says call Frank about the Wagner account. And if I open that up, it shows that it's set to remind me at 2 p.m. tomorrow, which is what I told it to do. So that's a pretty slick feature right there. So essentially what that means is anytime you want to remember something, you can pick up your phone, dictate to Siri and say set reminder or call somebody, and it'll automatically add it to that list. So let's make another example. Remind me tomorrow to call Sally about the cake.
Okay, I added it.
When you're riding along, you pass a restaurant you want to check out, and you want to remember that. Remind me to check out the menu on Thai Basil tomorrow.
Okay, I added it.
So all these reminders and all these action items show up in my .reminders list. And what I do is usually during the day, or at least once a week, I drag them from the .reminders list into the appropriate list that I have set up in Microsoft To Do. So again, the mobile integration is phenomenal. I even use it when I'm sitting at my desk at the office. I'll literally pick up my phone and dictate something because it's that efficient to get it into my list. Now let's talk a little bit about how this integrates with the rest of Microsoft. Here's an example where Dell has Microsoft To Do up and running, and it's got a review to do features. So I'm going to click on that to see what that says. And you notice it says next action 0 of 10. So with To Do, you can not only type in what the action is as the main line, you can also have task typed in down here, and you can move it up and down in any order you want. So it's a beautiful way to add extra subtasks to a task if you want to. So we just showed you a little while ago about the mobile integration, so I'm going to check that as done. And if you look over on the left, you'll notice now it says 1 of 10 is done. So now we're going to talk about To-Do List Tracker. Check that off and we'll cover through some steps. We talked about using step for subtasks, so I can say that's done. Here's an example of a list, a grocery list that you created. On the left-hand side, if we scroll down, you'll see groceries. You click on that list, there's all the items in it. Again, you can open on each list and see what's going on inside of it. If she wants to make sure she's going to get milk today, she could click on the Add it to my day list, and then it'll show up back up at the top when she goes to my day. So it's really good to easy to navigate around. So we've got groceries, we've got a reference list. So here's a list of books to read. Getting Things Done by David Allen. That's a great one to read. You'll notice it also has a tag here called #book. So let's go back to my day, open up the list again. So we've gone through the reference list. Now the To Do Quick Start video that's next in the series in this playlist will walk you through and explain what all the different lists are and to do. But as part of this overall overview, I wanted to really kind of hit some of the highlights. So the other list that's really cool in here, they're all cool, but this one is really powerful, is the important list. It's a smart list, meaning that it's not an actual physical list. It is a filter that looks through all your action items or all your items in to do. And if any of them have the star set, which means they're important, it shows up in the important list. And it's a pretty slick feature. So let's walk through that. So as we can see here in the My Day list, we've got review to do features and we've got milk. Now you notice the review to do features has the star set, which means it's important. And if you look over on the left-hand side where the important list is, you'll see that there's 2 items in there. So let's click on that, take a look. So here's the review to do features, and also we see here that the Terra Firm presentation is also tagged as important. All right, let's take a look at our groceries list just to see how important might work. So in this case, let's say we decide that potatoes are really important. I'm going to go over here and check the star to mark it important. You notice it automatically sorts this list to put the important stuff at the top. You can change that. But now if we go back to our list on the left and we click on the important list, we'll now see that potatoes is there. So what's cool is as you're going through different lists all through your day and you decide, you know what, I need to really make sure I'm paying extra attention to that, you don't have to move it from one place to the other. You just simply hit the star to mark it as important. So as I'm looking through my agendas, if I want to make sure that I remind Alex about upcoming flight, I can mark that as important. Again, it pops up to the top in this list, but again, if I go back to important, there it is here as well. So the important list is a very cool feature along with all the others in Microsoft To Do. All right, let's look at how we're going to handle some flagged emails. So in this example, Adele's checking her email for the day. She sees one's just come in from Alex Wilbur. And it says update needed today for Wagner account. So let's click on that. All right, so it looks like something is due by the end of the day. So Adele doesn't want to miss that, so she wants to add that to her to-do list so she sees it wherever she is. So we're going to right-click on that email, and we're going to click on follow-up, and we're going to say today. Now this set the flag for that email, highlights it as yellow, so now it becomes a flagged email. Now what that means is Microsoft To Do will now automatically get a copy of this email subject in the Microsoft To Do. All right, let's bring up To Do and see. Here's Microsoft To Do, and you notice there's a special smart list over here called flagged email. Let's click on that, and here we go. Update needed today for Wagner account. So as she's looking through her list of action items, this is now one of the ones that she can look at. So this came in as flagged as an important, and it's due today, so it was automatically added to the My Day. So if she goes back to her My Day, now we have update needed today for Wagner account. So now we have an action item that came in from an email and is now showing up in Microsoft To Do. So that's the cool thing about integrating with Microsoft Outlook. Now let's say she gets this done and she wants to mark it done. She can come up here and click that checkbox to say it's done. That automatically clears the flag here, and it clears the flag in Microsoft Outlook. Because it's done, it's removed from the list. So let's go take a look at Outlook. So here's Outlook, and you can see now that that email is done. She can file that in a reference folder. Get it out of the way. So that's the cool thing about this. The integration works both ways. Now let's go back to our task list, review to do features. So we just covered flagged emails. It integrates with Microsoft 365 beautifully. We talked about that. So let's take a look at Planner task. So if you're using Microsoft Planner, anything that's assigned to you will automatically show up in the Assigned to Me list on the left. So let's click this to see if Adele has anything assigned. And here we see she's got quite a lot of things assigned to her. Now, if she assigns herself something or somebody else assigns herself something in a shared to-do list, it'll also show up here. But primarily, it's usually going to be Planner. So here's a stock report AM, and a Terra Firm presentation is due coming up. And logistics is the name of the planner plan that it's in. Let's click on logistics. It shows you the information on it. And if you want to go to the planner plan, you click on logistics, and it'll automatically bring that up. So here's the planner plan, and there's the Terra Firm presentation So now she can see the details of that in Planner that she saw right here from Microsoft To Do. So again, she can do all her work out of To Do. Now, if she wants to add a comment here that says, work on this Friday, just a note to herself, that note will automatically show up in the Planner as well. Let's go take a look. So here's the Terraform presentation action item in Planner, and there's the note she typed from To Do showing up in Planner. So that Planner integration is pretty slick as well. All right, so let's go back to my day, click on Review Features, close off the Planner. Now the other thing you can do is you can share a list with somebody in Microsoft To Do. And if you do that, you can then assign them tasks. So if we look on our left, she's got a shared list here, Terra shared list, and you see the picture of people. That means I got other people in it. So let's say she wants to assign something to Alex, who is one of the ones that she's shared this with. She can say, Alex, I need the plan completed Tuesday. She can do an @ mention. Here are the people she shared it with, herself and Alex. You're going to click Alex and then hit enter. Now what that's going to do is it's automatically going to put this task in Alex's Microsoft To Do in the shared list. So if we pop over to Alex's account, here's his To Do in the browser. And if you look at Assign to Me, there it is. Alex, I need the plan completed Tuesday. So again, you can integrate with each other with To Do. It's pretty slick. All right, almost done with this high-level overview of some of the cool features. Assign a task and shared, we covered that. So again, we're 9 of 10. One more to go, and that's tag management. So one of the things I want to tell you is that tags, using tags as a way to handle data anyway is a really good idea. I use tags in Outlook, in Notes, in OneNote. I certainly use it a lot in To Do. Tags are very powerful. There'll be a whole separate video on using tags and the power of it, but I just want to quickly give you an idea of how cool tags are. So one of the things I do is anytime I have an agenda item that I want to cover with somebody next time I'm with them, kind of like in an agenda list, I use a hashtag for that. So I also keep a tag list to remind me what hashtags I have. So I'm going to click on tag list. And here's some tags I put in just for demonstration. So the AG stands for agenda, and AW is the initial of that person. So it'd be agenda Alex Wilbur. And then AG is agenda, FB would be Frank Baker. So if I want to see any agenda items that I tagged with this hashtag for Frank Baker, I'll type in the hashtag, AG for agenda, FB for Frank Baker, and that's going to show me every place that Frank has a tag like that, no matter where the list is. Now, if I want to see all agenda items for everybody I've got, all I've got to do is back up a couple, and now it's going to show me every to-do item that has an agenda tag in it. So here's one for Alex, and here's one for Frank. So it just gives you an idea of the power of tags. I also use CP as a client partner tag. And so in this case, there's a Terraform as one of the client partners I'm working with. If I want to see any action pertaining to them that I tag, it'll pop up here as well. In this case, you can see it's in the Terraform presentation. So I'm going to open this up. So I can see here that this Terraform presentation is in the logistics plan. I'm going to click on logistics. And here it is. And you'll notice I use the same tag in the note. So tags work everywhere. So that's a quick overview of how cool tags can be. A lot more to come on that. Cool, so that ends our overview of some of the features of Microsoft To Do. There's a playlist here that this is the first video of, and in that playlist we'll get into the details of a lot of these features and then some additional features as well. The goal for me here was to give you an idea of how cool this can be. I highly recommend you check it out. The next video in this series is going to show you how to set up To Do in your computer and on your mobile, and also get you some initial lists that we recommend you set up. I'm a big fan of Getting Things Done by Dave Allen. Got his book right here. Keep it with me all the time. So a lot of the examples here uses his techniques for how to set up lists and how to track action items. Highly recommend that book if you haven't read it already. If you look up GTD on the internet, you'll see tons of hits. He's spoken all over the place at Google and other places. And I've been a big fan of his ever since his book came out many years ago. So to do and the way it handles the list fits right into how to handle your day really well. I have on my to-do, my actual to-do, I've got tons of checklists that I have if I'm going on a trip or if I have a particular project set up that I always follow. Microsoft To-Do is a phenomenal list manager, and it tracks action items, but it also just tracks data beautifully. And within Microsoft 365, that integration is so well done and so easy and so automatic, including Teams. You just got to check it out. So I'm really excited about Microsoft To Do. I think you will be too. That's why I'm sharing it with you, because I think it's just an awesome tool. But in the comments below, let me know how things are going for you, or if there's part of that you'd like me to dive into more. That's what I'm here for, is to help everybody get more productivity with less typing as much as possible. So until next time, take care.